Hey, Amy.
Hey, Teresa.
Thank you for jumping on the call with me.
Uh,
And we're less than a month out, I think.
We
From
are less than a month out. Yeah, like as of, yeah, a little bit less.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I am really, really excited about the conference this year. What I'm specifically really excited about is being able to bring in weight stigma awareness along with treating eating disorders from the IFS lens. And that first day of the conference is really going to be that, really focusing on weight stigma. And with some of the originals, you and Shavis and Wendy Oliver Pyatt. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about why the talk you're doing kind of interweaves those two worlds, IFS and weight stigma.
absolutely. And thank you for inviting me back again. I love this. My favorite conference to do. It really is. It's wonderful. Um, it's kind of this talk came about kind of an interesting way. I started really wanting to learn more about cult psychology. It's just an interesting thing to me. It always has been. I've always found it just fascinating how someone gets pulled in by a charismatic leader and how they can turn their whole sort of world view into something that is myopic and driven by this one person's vision that may be utterly out of integrity with what they actually believe. And as I've learned about more about this, I thought, wow, that is absolutely how we are sucked in by this culture into the narratives of body shame. This really functions like a cult.
Mm,
It is absolutely normative to hate our bodies. It shouldn't be. So I have just learned a lot about how cults work, but also so how people get sucked in, but also how they get out.
mm,
And what I found in that process is that the folks who I just watched a lot of people talk about getting out of a cult and how they did it. And their language sounded so much like the language of IFS. And what I started to find is that cults prey on parts, and particularly for people who have other kinds of trauma in their lives, including the trauma of just other ways of having developed body shame. That fundamentally the cult is very effective at preying on those parts.
mhm,
So IFS, I think, really speaks to a lot of the same language that people were using who felt like they got out in a way that was effective and resilient over the long haul, which really was about connecting to self energy. And self does not, what one thing I always say to clients is, if you feel body shame, you're in a part. Self does not experience body shame. So, if we think about that sort of narrative, we shouldn't feel shame about our bodies. We should feel curious. We should feel compassionate. Doesn't mean we have to love everything about them, but they don't exist simply to please other people or to look a certain way. But that's absolutely the narrative. So I've just found this way of thinking about and understanding weight stigma really validates
mm.
how powerful it is, how pervasive it is, and how difficult it is to get out of it.
Wow.
And I think IFS really does a wonderful job from that lens of helping our clients recognize that they've been sucked into a cult. So it really validates again how strongly those messages are held and what we need to do to get out.
Mm.
So that's kind of where it
Oh my
came from.
gosh. That's fascinating. Fascinating.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear this talk. And
yeah,
as I was listening to you, I was like, yes, the exiled parts get pulled into wanting to belong, wanting to be okay, wanting to feel safe.
absolutely. Mhm. Absolutely. That's really the biggest thing is that there's that the narrative is in order to be safe, in order to be loved, in order to be accepted, this is what your body has to be. And so, again, it just fits so perfectly with those exiles. You
Yeah.
know, praise on them.
Yeah.
And that's not okay. So yeah,
Oh, that's great. This is perfect. So I wanted to be able to just let people know a little bit about what they can expect when they listen to your talk. And so I really appreciate you giving us a little glimpse into that.
absolutely. Happy to. I'm excited to do it.
All right. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too, Teresa.